Check out this video if you want to see my Wallabies versus Pumas prediction. Welcome back to SkinnyBru Rugby, guys. So it's the second round of Rugby Championship. In this game we have Australia versus Argentina over in Australia. It's a repeat of last year's fixture where Argentina actually won it over in Australia. Both teams lost their last game in the Rugby Championship, so whoever loses this game is probably out of the competition for the title of the Rugby Championship. Let's get into the game. The Wallabies, they've had a couple of changes this week, some bigger than others, but we'll get to that one a little bit later. At the front row we have Sio Lealiifano Kepu. The biggest name back is Sio back in the front row. Locks, Rodan, Arnold, they did do well last week, so it's good to continue with them. And then loose forwards, same as last week, Salakaya Lotto, Hooper and Naisarani. They didn't have a super good game last week, they weren't that impressive, but maybe this week they will step up a bit. All of them are great players, so they are supposed to. They will go up against the Pumas' front pack, who includes Teta Chaparro and Figalo in the front row. They impressed last week. Creevy is out this week, so this week we have his understudy Montoya in the team. He's just as good as Creevy. He's not as good with turnovers, but the other roles of a hooker he does really well. At locks we have the ever impressive Petty and Lavanini. They are also a very good combination in the world. And then loose forwards, Matera at captain. He's wearing the captain's armband this week with Creevy out. Lozana, who has been doing well this season from the bench for the Jaguares. And then Issa, one of the overseas based stars in the team. If I have a look at the two front packs, I'll probably say the Wallabies will try and play a bit of a mauling game this week. Again, it didn't work that well last week, but I think that they'll sort out their problems this week. And then the Argentinians, as always, their front players likes getting into the line and running with the ball. Then we get over to the back lines. The 9-10 combo has changed for the Wallabies. They have Genia in for them, and then Lealiifano, who is the good news story that Australia really needs with all the drama with Falau and that stuff. Lealiifano suffered from cancer a few years ago, and he's making his great return after playing for Ulster a couple of years and then also coming back for the Brumbies. And I think it's amazing for him to actually be back in the team. He didn't have the best of seasons, but out of the number 10s in Australia, if you have to compare all of them, I think he is one of the best at the moment. Genia, he's in white. He didn't do too badly last week, but he's out of the team. Centers, we continue with Creevy and Kuridrani, both of them good game, especially Creevy. He made one mistake, but further he had a good game. There's a bit of changes in the outside backs. Karabetti is in. I think the team lacked a bit of speed last week, so it's good to have him in. But Haylett Petty does suffer under the axe for him. He did play well last week, so it is actually bad for him to actually be out. Then we also have Hodge and then Beale at number 15. It's great to see him back in that team. I think he deserves it. He played well last week when he actually came on. The Pumas, they also made a couple of changes in the back line. I think this is also just to rest some of the players that has been playing the whole season and to get some of the European-based players some game time. At 9-10, Kubeli and Sanchez. Sanchez didn't have the best game last week, but it wasn't terrible. He made one big mistake that cost them a try that Retallick scored with an intercept, but I think he will want to improve this week. 12-13 combination, De La Fuente and Moroni. Moroni usually plays at wing, but he's been impressive this whole season, so I think he can continue with that. I know he is actually listed as an outside centre. Winger is actually one of his other positions he plays. The outside backs, here is where the Argentinians always have some excitement. Moyano still at the wing, and then the return of the Exeter Chiefs star Cordero is in the team, and then Tukelet is at fullback with Buffali being rested, probably because he had a good game, so I think he's just being rested. Then two benches, Latu Slipper, who got a head knock last week, he's back in the team. Tupou, he had a poor game, got a yellow card, so would want to redeem himself. Simmons, Jones, who is going to be back in the team, in a very long time if he actually gets onto the field. Then Nick White on the bench this week, trading places with Genia Tumua, and then O'Connor 2.0 or 3.0, I'm not sure exactly, but I'm excited to see him back as well. Hopefully he has a good game. Then for the Argentinians, Socino at hooker, Vivas, Herrera, Alemano, and Leguizamo, who is just a legend in that team. I can't wait to see him. And then Escura Ponella, who's been great for the Jaguares at 10. So if Sanchez doesn't have a good game, Bonita would want to get that place back. And then one of my favorite 13s in the game on the bench, Orlando. For me, if I have to look at this game, the Wallabies, they made a couple of changes. The Pumas also made a couple of changes. But for the Wallabies, I don't think those changes are going to be enough. The Argentinian team is probably better if you look at it on paper. So I think the Argentinians will run with the ball compared to the Wallabies, who's going to try and kick and have a couple of mauls. So when the Argentinians release that exciting backline players of them, I think they have the ability to win by 10. I know the bookies are saying it's by 4 or so. I think it's going to be more. I think it's 10 points in this one. Let me know your thoughts. If you want to check out any of my other videos, just find here next to me. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you want to see any more international content. And then I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.